I'm getting a Barbie dream house.
All good.
Hi, Jeff. I winked out there. I don't know what happened.
I did too, for some reason.
Oh, there we go.
There we go.
I don't think Jeff is back yet.
I'm gonna go grab one thing. I'll be right back.
Jeff, are you there?
Jeff. Yeah, it's on that Zoom thing. So I'm just logged on to it. Yeah, you can do it from home. Yeah, you got that. Yeah. Are you guys at the town hall? Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah. It's the whole thing.
I had to log back on. They said the host disconnected everybody. So everybody got disconnected.
Yes, I got disconnected too.
Same here.
This is the first Zoom meeting I've ever had. So it will be the last.
Okay. This is Jeff again. You got kicked out. I wanted to talk to Teresa. I thought she, it's like, I don't want to talk to you.
It wasn't
I just
me.
got
I didn't do it.
Call from Tom Wilson's down at the town hall. We were gonna do it there, so he's on his way home and he'll be chiming in here probably in 15 minutes or so. That's the way it's gonna be for tonight. Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
Teresa, what I was thinking is that maybe you could give like an administrative timeline from after tonight's public hearing to how it goes through the town board. I don't know if Phil
Sure.
wants to do that. I thought you would understand kind of the legal process of it, so that maybe we can do that as background. I don't know. if we
Yeah,
wanna
it's
do
no
that.
problem.
Should we do that before the public hearing or even Phil's presentation? Should that be before the public hearing or?
Yes. That way we can answer people's questions sort of up front about the procedure itself. So I think Phil's planning on doing his presentation, then I'll fill in where we're going next. And then you can open it up to public comment. Is that okay?
Then we'll open the public hearing. Right? When you say open it for public comment, that'll be the official opening of the public hearing, right?
Yes, that's right. That's right.
All right.
And Elizabeth asked me a question today, which was, can you close the public hearing and still leave it open for written comments? And you can. And that's what we're doing. So, no problem. Jeff, you're a little hard to hear. You might want to turn up your volume.
I was gonna mention that I was having a really hard time hearing him.
Oh, okay. I'll just have to figure out how to do that.
I can hear Josh really well.
Yeah, well, Josh is always.
Wonderful.
Carol, can they- Can you guys hear me?
Yes, I could hear you.
Okay, great.
How about now? Can you hear me any better or not?
Not
You're a little
really.
faint, Jeff.
Wonder the volume thing. I'm trying to. Make this thing a little harder. Hold on just for a second. Let me.
Melissa, you'll have to start out with the roll call just to make sure you've got a quorum.
Hmm.
Hey, Melissa, before we start, do you send the agenda electronically or just the scanned copy of the PDF?
What do you mean?
So in order to get on the Zoom, I had to type in the whole address because it like the agenda you send, this one, has a nice link that you can click on. I don't get it in this version. Did anybody else get it? You guys know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I do it PDF wise.
Yeah, okay.
And Mike,
Yeah.
what I usually do is I go on the town website. and-
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You
I think
download it that way.
like that,
Okay, that's a good idea. Thank you.
I can send it.
No, that's okay.
The other way.
Elizabeth's smarter than I am. I just need to catch up. That's all.
Also, if you can save this meeting, basically in your history, and you can always go back and it'll
Okay.
basically pop up.
See, you just gotta listen to people, right? Then I'll learn more.
I mean, it depends if you clear your history or how you have it set up, but
Yeah, I usually don't on this computer.
at least it'll get you back to Zoom, and then you can just hit join a meeting, and then you're
Yeah.
only typing in the one number.
Okay.
That's a good idea too.
It looks like Jeff might be on IT support with his son. Maybe.
I'm still on mute here trying to figure out how to get this thing to go louder for me. All right, can you guys hear me at all? It's like.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Mhm.
A little better.
I'm gonna mute again. Hold on.
I don't see anybody. How weird is that? There we go. That's better.
settings. Yeah. Yeah. That's click. Okay. All right. All right. Okay. I think I got it. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. All right. All right. I'm gonna go back. It's on high now.
Yeah, Jeff, it's very clear now.
Yeah,
Okay,
much,
there we go.
much better.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks. Bye.
How
All
much
right.
you-
I had to have my DEC expert help me out. Yeah. So can you hear me now?
Yes, you're actually very loud now.
Oh, geez.
Stick with that. That's good.
That's good. I'm too loud now. I'll lower myself down a little bit. And you guys up a little bit.
Too low.
How's that? Too low?
You were
Here we
better
go.
loud.
And better loud.
Yeah, there you go.
All right. Okay. All right. What time is it? What time is it?
Who's on the fire tablet?
That's my 10th bullet.
Okay. This is Phil around?
Jeff, you're too loud.
Oh, okay. Phil Sexton on?
Oh, there's Tom.
Tom's here. How fast do you drive there, Tom? Yeah. All right. Thanks for showing up, Tom. Sorry about the confusion. Yeah. Well, we're looking, what about Phil Sexton? Is he somehow linked in here?
Jeff, Phil just texted me asking for the meeting passcode. I provided that, and then he responded that he'll log in a few minutes. I don't know if he has to join right away, right?
Okay, okay, because we can start now if you want to.
Okay.
Perfect.
Actually, it's time. It's 7:04 on my watch. Okay, so I guess we'll start the meeting. We're all in Zoom land. Welcome to the January 21st, 2021 Town of Dwaynesburg Planning Board meeting, our first meeting of the year, our first meeting with our new president of the United States, and our first meeting when the country was fearing of COVID. I hope everyone is safe and maintains a safe standard before we get through this nightmare we're in. Tonight's meeting has a couple of issues that are maybe of more interest to the town's constituents and publicly. We're going to talk about the comprehensive plan and then some other things. But the way we run these meetings, the first opportunity for the public is what we define as the open forum. This is when people in the audience can speak about anything that's of interest in the town forum or that may be of interest to the board. We limit it to a minute.
Uh-oh, do we lose Jeff?
Did we lose Jeff?
Hi, it's Lynn. I have a public comment.
Lynn, could you give us just a second here? It looks like we lost Jeff, our chairman. So see if he can log back in, and then we can officially open the public forum.
Thank you very much. I'll wait.
Okay, thank you. Or the open forum. Thank you. Teresa, you had recommended doing a roll call. Should we do that while we're waiting for Jeff to get back on?
We should probably do that when Jeff's back on.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, you do actually have a quorum even without Jeff. So Melissa, you want to call the roll?
Liz,
Yes.
Josh,
Yes.
Michael,
Yes.
Mike,
Yes.
Tom,
Yes.
I think I got everybody right.
All right, hold on.
I wonder if Jeff realizes we lost him.
He does.
There we go.
I'm on my way back.
Oh, there we go.
My computer back. So, sorry about that. Okay. We'll resume here. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, Jeff.
I was going on a little discussion of the open forum, so I think we know the ground rules. Put your name and address for the record. Your comment to a maximum of 4 minutes. With that, I'll make a motion to open the open forum.
And I'll second the motion to open the open forum.
Jeff,
Yes.
Mike,
Yes.
Lynn, Elizabeth,
Yes.
Josh,
Yes.
Tom,
Yes.
Mike.
Yes.
Approved. All right, and I think Lynn said she had something burning.
Lynn, thanks for your patience.
Hi, this is Lynn. Waynesburg Road. Can you all hear me? It's really staticky.
It's
We can hear you.
Thank you for posting. Well, first, please include my comments in the official planning board meeting minutes recorded on the town website. Thank you for posting the draft December 17th, 2020 planning board minutes on the town website within 2 weeks of the meeting in accordance with New York State open meeting law. I request that the town place a moratorium on wind power resources. Current law was approved in 2008 and is 15 pages. While the wind law is more comprehensive than the town's 2017 solar law, which is only 4 pages, the wind law is over 13 years old and may need to be evaluated for accuracy with today's wind power technology and land use regulations. I request that the town place a moratorium on battery energy storage so that the town can develop a new town policies and development standards governing this new energy resource and generator of hazardous waste. It's important to note that the New York State Energy Research and Development Authority guidelines state that battery energy storage must follow New York State Fire Code, even if it is more restrictive than the municipal code. My requests are supported by the December 2nd, 2020 draft comprehensive plan, page 49, which states that the result.
Hear me? I'd like to interrupt just for a second. Could
Anybody
everyone
heard me?
that's participating mute their mic because there's a lot of background noise coming in, and it's not fair for the commenter. Okay, so mute your mic until you have something to say, and that'll make the meeting go a little smoother. Thank you.
Did anyone hear my
Maybe-
comments?
Well, we heard it, but there was a lot of background noise. But
Do you want me to read it
We'll
again
give-
or just submit it in
give you
writing?
an opportunity. It was very staticky. We'll give you an opportunity to do it one more time.
Okay, thank
If
you.
you would like to. All right, go for it.
Thank you for posting the draft December 17th, 2020 Planning Board minutes on the town website within 2 weeks of meeting in accordance with New York State open meeting law. I request the town place a moratorium on wind power resources. Current law was approved 2008 and is 15 pages. While the wind law is more comprehensive than the town's 2017 solar law, which is only 4 pages, the wind law is over 13 years old and needs to be evaluated for accuracy with today's wind power technology and land use regulations. I request that the town place a moratorium on battery energy storage so that the town can develop a new town policy and development standards governing this new energy research resource and generator of hazardous waste. The New York State Energy Research and Development Authority guidelines state that the battery energy storage must follow New York State Fire Code, even if it is more restrictive than the municipal code. My requests are supported by the December 2nd, 2020 draft comprehensive plan, page 49, which states that, quote, "The results of the questionnaire show that an overwhelming majority of town residents support the town's land use goal of maintaining a rural atmosphere." It goes on to specifically state, quote, "Develop and/or expand supplementary regulations for uses with unique land use characteristics, such as telecommunication facilities, wind turbines, home occupants, and clarify town policies and development standards. Please place moratoriums on wind energy and battery energy storage so that the town can review and write a new law." Thank you for your time and consideration.
Okay, thank you, Lynn. Is there anyone else that would like to participate in the open forum? Hearing nothing, we'll give a couple seconds for people to unmute if they'd like. If not, I'll make a motion to close the open forum for tonight's meeting, the January 21st meeting.
I'll second.
Okay,
Jeff,
yes.
Liz,
Yes.
Michael, Paris,
I was on mute.
okay, Josh,
Yes.
Tom,
Yes.
and Mike. Sam Chuli. I muted him.
Yes. Had mute going.
Approved.
The next item on the agenda for tonight is the public hearing for the Richard Hickok project located at 974 Moreville Scotch Church Road. Seek the special use permit to set up a camp, I believe it is. Is Richard around to actually get a little synopsis of their proposal for the public hearing?
Yeah, I hope you guys can see me because I'm having problems not knowing if you can see me or hear me right now.
I can see you. Yeah.
Oh, okay, you can hear me and everything's good. All
Yes,
right,
on my part.
the last meeting you requested that I talk to the building inspector to see about the septic. I wanted to put a holding tank, which in turn he told me to call Schenectady, the city or county of Schenectady, and the county of Schenectady said no, I cannot put in a 1,000-gallon holding tank. So my request tonight is, all right, we're going to ex-nay that part of the situation and put in an incinerator toilet, if that would be okay with all the plans that I want to do here.
Okay, I think I would defer to the code enforcement to see if that would be something that we could entertain in the town, incinerating toilets and, outbuildings like that. I'm not certain what the zoning would say about that, or what, have you talked to Dale Warner about this?
No, I finally got some answers. It was just yesterday or the day before. I got some weird working hours, and that's where I got the answers back from Schenectady, and I didn't have time to get back to Dale about it after the conversation I had with the gentleman from Schenectady.
Okay, because there's composting toilets and there's incinerating toilets, and things like that, but I'm not sure that once we approve one, that these could proliferate through the town. And I would defer to let us get in touch with Dale to find out if this is something that he's experienced with in the town. And, we don't want to set a precedent of approving this one because, once you approve one, you really are kind of locked into future approvals. So I think at this point, we would ask that the public hearing continue until the planning board can find out some more information on the legitimacy of using installing a toilet on an outbuilding. If this was an apartment building or an in-law building or something like that, I'm sure it wouldn't be looked on favorably. The fact that it's a camp out in the woods, I'm not certain we want to go that route. But I don't think the board is in a position to actually make an affirmative ruling on this at this point.
Yeah, Jeff, this is Teresa. You probably do want to though open the public hearing and keep it open, just
Yes.
in case anybody's on tonight who has any questions or wants to make any comments.
Yes. Okay. Having a very poor memory. We have to open the public hearing, so I'll make a motion to open the public hearing.
Second that motion.
Josh,
Yes.
Michael,
Yes.
Liz,
Yes.
Tom,
Yes.
Mike,
Yes.
approved.
Okay, so with that introduction as background, the public hearing would be officially open at this point to entertain any comments from the constituency of town or anybody participating in tonight's meeting. Okay. I'm not hearing any comments from any the other, perhaps the planning board itself has some concerns. My preference would be to extend this public hearing or continue this public hearing until such time as we can get some answers on the efficacy of using a returning toilet in a camp-like setting. That would be my preference. If anybody in the board would like to speak up on this?
Well, Jeff, I guess Dale is on the line. Maybe he could comment if there is a precedent for this in town.
Yeah, is Dale on tonight?
I see him.
Yes, I'm here.
There he is.
He's hard? Okay, all right.
To check with Schenectady County and see what they have to say about it, because they regulate residential septic systems in
Yeah.
in
Is that something that you can do, Dale, or the board should do, or?
No, I'll contact Schenectady County Department and find out if they're allowed.
And Mr. Hickok, when they declined your request to use a holding tank, was it their recommendation to use an incinerating toilet, or was that something you came up with as an alternate?
Oh, for the incinerating toilet? Yeah, that was just myself.
You're
Me
okay.
and my wife talking about, what could we do and, in that case.
So when the county
they
declined your holding tank, did they give you a recommendation for what they would like to see?
Yeah, $20,000 septic system.
Okay.
So it wasn't just the gallon, it wasn't just that it was 1,000 gallons, it was 1,500. They just did not want a holding tank at all.
They said they do not allow holding tanks anymore, I guess. I don't know how long it's been. But the gentleman, he got back to me, had to check with his boss, so on and so forth. Then he got back to me saying, no holding tanks. You have to put in the septic system. And I know the one he's talking about, I got it at the house. It's a very expensive septic system. And that's what he said I would have to do if I wanted to go that route.
Yeah.
Dale, is there a subsection of the code or something for work trailers, temporary occupied structures? A lot of, the temporary work trailers you see on job sites have these sort of holding tanks. Is there a certain definition for why they would be exempt or?
Well, like I said, I would have to check with Schenectady County because they're the ones that regulate septic systems for residential use.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I think that's what the next step should be is let us do some groundwork as a board and through you to see if there are any viable alternatives other than a conventional system for proposals such as this. And if there's not, then, we can have a cabin in the woods, I guess, just like.
Right.
No privilege, I think. I know there's a lot of issues, there's some issues over in the Cobleskill area with some of the Amish people who basically don't want to put in septic systems and they want to just use privies or, things like that. And it's really raising havoc over there. So, I'm not sure we want to start precedent, but we'll look. I think it would be fair just to look into it and get a sound argument that would prevail for other proposals also. So, and that would be
Okay.
so. That would be, my recommendation is that we continue the public hearing until such time. Next month, if we can have an answer by next month. In the interim, if we find out that there's no possibility that this could be approved, you could either withdraw your proposal or try to propose something that the planning board could approve. But at this point, I think it's kind of tied as far as decision making.
Okay.
But, I mean, that sits well with you.
I think
All
that makes sense, Jeff. So I think, if the other planning board members agree, are you making that motion? I just want to be clear.
Yeah, I would think that we'd make a motion to extend the public hearing, if that's the correct word to use, until our next meeting, which would be February. I don't have the date, Melissa. You may have the calendar, but the February meeting. And if you could get, we would need some sort of answer 10 days prior to the meeting. Something probably in writing from Schenectady County saying absolutely not, or possibility, or something. Because our decision will be guided by Schenectady County Department of Health.
And Jeff, I think that date is the 18th of February.
Okay, great. Okay, so February, the motion would be to extend the public hearing until February 18th. And in the interim, Mr. Hickok, if you could, communicate with Dale and communicate with the health department to see if this proposal is potentially viable.
Okay, sir.
I'll second the motion that we keep the public hearing open until February 18th.
Jeff,
Yes.
Liz,
Yes.
Josh,
Yes.
Michael,
Yes.
Tom,
Yes.
Mike.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, Rich, hopefully we'll hear from you again.
Okay,
And see
February
what's up
18th.
now. February 18th, yep. And any information we'll need 10 days before the hearing, so.
Okay, sir.
Great, okay, thank you.
Thank you very much, folks. Appreciate it.
Okay. The next item on the agenda is something that's a little more encompassing than typical things that we have at these planning board meetings. It's the draft comprehensive plan for the town of Duanesburg. Now, Phil Sexton, who was the former chair of the planning board, the town of Duanesburg Planning Board, has taken the initiative when he was chairman to start a redraft of the comprehensive plan, mainly an update, because the former comprehensive plan was quite dated. And Phil has painstakingly and unselfishly given a lot of his time, not even in the capacity of a board member any longer, and has done a very, very good job pulling a lot of information together, coordinating with the town board, opening it up for public comments. And we thank Phil for his dedication to this project. certainly took a lot of weight off my shoulders. But he's done a nice job, and Phil's with us tonight. And what Phil's going to do is just give a quick synopsis of where we are on the town plan, the town updated comprehensive plan, and you know, some of the highlights of it perhaps. But actually to explain to you how this thing came about and how it's progressed over the last 2.5 years or so. For those of you that there has been considerable opportunity for input from the town, and Phil will go through that. There was mailings to everyone in the town, and he's done the lion's share of the work on this, and I think you got about $30 for it. So, so Phil, if you're on, I give you this opportunity, and let me, before you start that, after Phil does this, Teresa Backner, who's our town attorney, is going to give us a quick rundown of what the next steps are from a legal and administrative process to bring the plan from a draft stage to a final adopted plan for the town. A lot of it doesn't involve the planning board. It would actually involve the town board. So Teresa will do that before we open the public hearing. We just want to set up some little some background information so that we can have an adequate public hearing. Okay, so Phil, if you're on, we'll give you the stage here, and we can go from there.
Hi, everybody. Nice to see you all again. It's fun to be on this side of the seat, Jeff. Just real quick, I assume you can hear me now then. Melissa, are you able to let me share the screen? It won't let me do that. But I do have a couple slides I can show you here if you're able to.
Can you do it now? Sorry to interrupt. I got my screen share.
Yeah, no, it says the host disabled participant screen sharing. So otherwise I sent this over to a couple of you just in case, but just to sort of get the conversation started.
You should be able to now.
You know, yes, great. Perfect. Okay. Y'all can see that now?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Great.
Yeah.
So this process, I've got a little bit of a timeline I'll show you, but this process actually started while I was serving on the board, actually before I became the chair. And it just, some of you who were on the board at that time may remember we kept sort of running into a few things along the way that said, gosh, what does the comprehensive plan say? And then you start to realize that although the plan in its original form back in when it was revised in 2006 was still fairly representative, but you're starting to feel like there's a couple things missing just because, you know, the town's evolved. So to me, that was sort of a good sign. And so I just want to sort of state clearly first that, you know, the comprehensive plan, you know, there's really a couple purposes, but the main purpose is to provide this unified vision for what we have for the town, who, you know, where we want to take the town forward. And then this update really is meant to provide, you know, this broad, inclusive, behave more like a policy guide for how we make decisions as boards, right? So it's not just the planning board, but the planning board, I will say, just from my experience serving on it, probably needs to rely on it more than any other board, if that makes any sense. You know, zoning would then refer to this as well, but it really seemed like we were the ones that were going to have to refer to it the most. So that's one of the reasons. So, you know, another big reason was we were overdue, or at least we were due. So it hadn't been updated since 2006. And, you know, some of the things that I was describing, you know, there has been some fairly significant commercial development, sewer districts. You know, we've got examples like the Y in Hannaford that were sort of built after that time. And then we started to take on things like solar and some other sort of forward thinking visions for the town. So what's interesting is the original plan that was then updated in 2006, that was done in 91, just in case anybody's curious. I first brought this idea to the board, the town board, in September 2017. And we really got started in the process quite a few months later in April of 2018. That's when public surveys were mailed out. We got a great response. And of the 668 public surveys we got, nearly half were by mail and half were online. So that was sort of a new thing, as well as doing things like that online. And then we started to sort of develop this update process near the end of 2018 and first started meeting right at the end of then. So this has been a fairly lengthy process and fairly inclusive process. We had many meetings, a total of 8, plus some other extraneous ones over time. And what I've highlighted here is this is where we are today now with this public hearing. So this will actually be one of 2 public hearings that are held regarding this. So this is really what I would describe as the, this is the public comment period that includes this public hearing. We're going to keep the written public comment period open through the end of January. After that time, we will close that public comment period, and then we will collect all of the feedback that we received. And I have to say, few of the folks that actually gave us some really great feedback I see on this meeting tonight, but got some really great feedback from several both individual residents, homeowners, and also some civic organizations. And so I would just encourage anyone, we've got a little bit of time still. It'd be great to hear from more of the civic organizations. It'd be great to hear from more of the businesses and those types of situations. So we would love to get more feedback. Everything's been very positive so far. Everything's been very helpful. Some things that, are great for us to try to include. From that point, there will then be just a brief revision process before we then the planning board will then take the final recommendations or the final version that they're recommending that the town board then reviews, revises on their own, and then they will host one more public hearing. And then the goal is the town board will adopt this. We think, the goal is by the end of March. There's not necessarily a hard deadline at that, though there's not a need. We actually originally had a deadline goal way back when we started this of trying to finish this up by the end of 2020. And we were actually on track to do that until, some things happened and then COVID hasn't helped and those kinds of things. So, anyway, I'd say that we made a pretty good pace at this. One thing, I think that's it on the process. I won't repeat this stuff, but one I think interesting result from this process was we realized there was never really a vision statement. And for those of you that are sort of in corporate business, you sort of understand the importance of these. But so we did develop a vision statement that has been revised several times, and it boils down to this. And so I would encourage everyone, I won't read it for you here tonight, but I would encourage everyone that has access to a copy of this, read that. What this vision statement represents really is all of the objective statements that are written throughout this document. We tried to then represent in this vision statement. So this is a pretty broad and inclusive vision statement that I think, over time as it evolved, it really does represent who we are as a community. So with that, I'll stick around for a bit to answer any questions. But I as much as it was sort of painstaking, this was also a lot of fun. And I'll tell you, I learned a lot about our community through this process. I think anyone would benefit from reading this plan, page to page. I think you'll learn a lot of interesting history about your town that you may not have known about before. And so I'd just encourage all of us to really engage with this plan. So it's really what it's meant to be, is to help everybody understand the true vision of our town. So with that, I appreciate it. And again, great to see everybody.
Bill, thanks a lot. And again, thanks for the inordinate amount of time and dedication that you spent to see this project forward. Because I don't think there's too many people that would have put that level of energy into it. And now I would like to ask Teresa Backner, the town attorney, just before the public hearing, just to give us a little legal time frame as to where we stand, and then we'll start the public hearing. Teresa, are you there?
I am here. I was muted. Sorry, Jeff. So moving forward, we're following exactly the steps in section 272A of the New York Town Law. And what that provides is where you have a special board, in this case, the planning board, established to put forth the draft comprehensive plan update. Then first there's a public hearing between that board, and next there will be another public hearing in front of the town board. So there'll be an additional opportunity to comment as Phil had indicated. So from the other thing that will happen procedurally is the town board will take a look at the environmental impacts of the proposed update. And they have they will have a long form EAF, part 1, 2, and most likely a part 3. The planning board after this meeting will make a recommendation on the plan as a whole and seeker. And then it'll go to the town board, and it'll also go to county planning for county planning's comments. And I believe at this point, county planning also has a copy of the draft. So procedurally, after this public hearing and comment period, there'll be another public hearing and comment period before the town board adopts this. And I just wanted to reiterate from that the comments that anybody provides in writing will be included with the plan. So to the extent you give comments here tonight, we would really appreciate it if you could follow up with an email or something in writing. That way we'll be sure we encompass everything that you've suggested. And so that's really the remainder of the process that's left. It's really possible to get that all done by the end of March, I believe, especially because the town board meets twice a month. And we'll see how things go.
Okay, thanks, Teresa. I think that encapsulates the process pretty well. Gives the legal basis for it, which I think people are interested in. With that as background, I'm going to make a motion to open the public hearing for the draft comprehensive plan for the town of Duanesburg.
Second.
Okay.
Who is that? That
Mike.
seconded it. Mike? Okay. Jeff?
Yeah. Yes.
Michael?
Yes.
Tom?
Yes.
Josh?
Yes.
Mike?
Yes.
Liz?
Yes.
Okay, with that, again, if you have comments you'd like to articulate tonight, you can do that and follow them up in writing, please. If you're going to make a comment in the next few minutes, please identify yourself by name and street address so that we can have that for the record. So, anyone who would like to speak, let's hear from you.
Hi, it's Lynn again. Can you hear me?
Okay. Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I have to turn off my sound, otherwise you get feedback.
Yeah. I'm gonna ask everybody else
I
to mute.
reviewed the draft comprehensive plan, page 8, section, the comprehensive planning process, states that the review began November 20 of 18. The November 8th and November 20th, 2018 minutes is found on the town website, do not contain any information about the comprehensive plan. My review of the planning board and town minutes reflects that the first discussion was May 19th of 2016, when a resident requested revisions to the comprehensive plan. And then September 7th of 2017, Supervisor Tidball scheduled a meeting in October of November to get residents' input via the social media and mailing for the comprehensive plan. And November 2nd of 2017, the town held a comprehensive planning board, the comprehensive plan public meeting. Then in April of 2018, the mailers went out. There's no record of the comprehensive plan or the planning board in planning board or town board minutes after August of 2018. I request that the draft comprehensive plan be corrected to reflect the accurate dates of beginning in 2017. Point number 2 I have is the draft comprehensive plan, page 57 states, quote, presently the National Grid substation in the town does not have any available room for the town to hook any potential solar power generation into, end quote. I ask that the town consider that solar and wind power resources can be built in one town and then connect to the substation in another town. For example, the New York State Interconnection Review webpage contains the current National Grid queue, and that reflects that Michael Wiggum has submitted, and I believe it is approved, a 2 megawatt solar power resource and a 5 megawatt battery energy storage facility in the town of Sprakers. Both facilities are documented as connecting to the Delanson 260 substation. When reviewing the comprehensive plan, it's important to note that neighboring substations in Albany, Schoharie, Montgomery counties may have capacity and the interconnection point for a solar or wind power resource constructed within the town of Dwaynesburg. Additionally, substations can be improved or enlarged capacity at any time. New substations can be constructed. The March 4th, 2020, there was a meeting at Town Hall with LS Power. They hosted a public information session where they shared their construction plans for the new Rotterdam substation near the intersection of Reynolds and Houghton Roads. Further information is found in the Schenectady Gazette on March 5th. And the draft comprehensive plan fails to address Article 10 and Section 94C legislation that solar and wind power resources that are 20 megawatts and larger. These power plants may connect into transmission resources that bypass the Delanson 269 substation, or even they may construct their own substation. Simply stating that there's no room at the Delanson 269 substation, and therefore there's no need to consider construction of wind and solar energy resources in the comprehensive plan is short-sighted, and it would be possibly negligent. And my third point is that battery energy storage is not found in the draft comprehensive plan, and Governor Cuomo's ambitious renewable energy plans call for extensive battery energy storage facilities. Why hasn't the town included this into the draft comprehensive plan in some manner? Thank you for your time and consideration. And yes, I'll submit this in writing. Thanks.
Okay, thank you, Lynn. Again, when we get those in writing, we can review those in detail, and they'll be incorporated as an appendix to the plan as your comments. Is there anyone else who'd like to speak? Lisa Shaw? And I'd ask everybody mute their mics when someone is presenting, because there's some background coming through my computer. So, okay. Is Lisa Shaw, she's on my screen. Would you like to make a comment? Hello? Can people hear me?
I can hear you.
Yeah, Jeff, we're good.
Yeah. I'm not hearing anyone else that would like to make a comment on the plan. It's, I
thought I saw somebody else. I thought I saw somebody else go off mute right when Lynn started talking, like they might have had a comment as well. Was somebody else?
This is Annabelle Felton. That was me. I was going to speak up. I have submitted some revisions to the existing, or the draft comprehensive plan on behalf of the Duanesburg Broadband Committee. I just want to say that, Bill, I appreciate all your hard work on this, and that because of the survey that went out in the spring of 2018, the Duanesburg Broadband Committee was able to piggyback on that mailing. And we sent out our own survey, which resulted in all of our, in our ability to map the unserved in town, which was the first step in actually getting everyone broadband service. Now, we still have just over 200 homes unserved in town. And we're hoping to get those served. We're whittling away at the project. So perhaps by the time we actually get this plan finalized, we'll be able to say that most, if not all, of the residents in town have access to a broadband connection. And I'll certainly keep you guys up to date. Feel free to reach out to me anytime to get a status. And
Just want to say thanks, Annabelle, too, for that.
Yes, and I did provide written comments on that, so.
Yeah, we have your comments, Annabelle. And actually, I'd like to extend a super thanks to you for the incredible effort that you've done on this broadband initiative. It's something that I was really a doubter that it could happen myself, but you really proved me wrong on this. And it's just strictly through your perseverance and hard work and able to really get this project moving forward. I think it's going to come to fruition the way I see it. And again, thanks for me. Just maybe it's Jeff Schmidt, not necessarily from the planning board, but he did a phenomenal job. So, okay. Are there any other comments? I'd like to hear from the people. This is a big item for the town. People could be happy with it or disappointed with it, or, you know. Again, I'm hoping everybody can hear on this transmission. So in a few more seconds, I'm going to make a motion to.
Jeff, this is Dirk. I'll throw one in.
Okay,
I submitted written comments, but it just dawned on me that the YMCA is part of what's made the town really a nice place to live recently. And I think it's under threat. It's not opening up anytime soon, even though Gilderland's open and other YMCAs are opening. I don't know if there's anything the town can do to help encourage the YMCA to open this facility back up. It's really something we've been lacking.
Yeah. I mean, it's a phenomenal facility, and yeah, I don't know the reasoning behind it. It's obviously probably associated with COVID. I hope, that's the only reason. But
right.
Perhaps that someone can reach out to him from the town board, maybe. I'm not sure it's the planning board's purview on this one, but I agree with your point that that's a huge resource that the town, really improved the quality of life in the town for everyone. And I hate to see it ever close. So,
right.
Okay, and we got your comments. Your written comments have been received, and they'll be addressed to some degree.
Okay, thank you.
Document. Okay, thanks, Dirk. Anyone else? Okay, it's a lot of silence here. I guess I would move. Can we move to close the public hearing? Teresa, is that appropriate at this point, you believe?
Yes, you can move to close the public hearing and just make it clear to everybody that written comments will be accepted until the end of the month.
Okay, all right. I'll make a motion to close the public hearing for the draft comprehensive plan for the town of Duanesburg, with the caveat that written comments will be accepted till the close of business on the last day of the month, whichever that is. Yeah, I don't have a calendar. But if that gives everyone enough time, that's another.
29th is a Friday, Jeff.
29th, all right, why don't we do it? The close of business on the 29th, postmarked by the 29th. Those comments will be entertained. If they're later than that, you know, kind of missed your opportunity. But that would be the motion to.
I'll second that.
Okay, thank you.
Jeff?
Yeah.
Tom?
Yes.
Michael?
Yes, I guess the only thing I'd say is, Jeff, there is another town board public hearing, right? So there
Yeah.
would be another opportunity to contribute then if you missed the initial one.
That's a good point, Mike. Yeah, you know, this closes the public hearing for the purposes of the Brunswick Planning Board.
Right.
As Teresa explained before, the document will then go to the town of Dwaynesburg Town Board, where they will renotice it, I believe, and have another public hearing. So there'll be another bite at the apple at that point.
Right.
For the purposes of the planning board, we'll be more or less, you know, done with our review.
Okay, so I'm a yes, Melissa.
Josh?
Yes.
Liz?
Yes.
Mike? Julie? Is he-
Mike, I saw your lips move. I think you're on mute.
That's good enough. Facial recognition will work, Mike.
Oh, there he is.
Got him?
And I didn't even touch that button.
Okay. Okay, we're moving on the agenda to the next topic, which would be old business. Spiro Kagas, Spiro around tonight. No, Spiro had submitted a, I don't know what his proposal is at this point, but he seeks a special use permit. Spiro, are you there?
I think you're muted.
Is Spiro in the
Are we
audience? Do you
there?
know?
Can you hear us now?
Yes. Yep.
Now I can hear you.
Okay.
Okay. So we were proposing to do a concession trailer that's portable at the car wash. About 20 feet by 8 foot. That would be open 7 days a week. From 7 to 7 approximately. We don't really know exactly our hours. But it would be on the corner, which I believe you guys should have the plot plan there. As you come up into the car wash, there's a space there on the corner that we would like to put the trailer. And then, of course, we have that 1.36 acres to the right, which we already got approved for overflow parking. So we were thinking about doing something like that there.
Melissa, can you put your mouse on the screen and maybe show us where it's going to be? And can you direct where you're talking about the trailer being located?
So tell me when I'm close to it, Alicia.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm.
Can you see my mouse?
Yeah.
No, I'm looking at you or myself completely. I don't know.
In the upper right corner of your window, there's a little, it looks like a double, it says swap shared screen and video. You see that? There's a little, it's a window in a window.
A window in a window.
In the upper right corner of your screen, you should see it.
View, I see that.
Or it could be under view options. Might just be a drop down.
Wait, go back to that, Sparrow. I apologize, guys.
It's okay.
view up here maybe, or window in a window.
So if you're looking at the
Okay, I see
property,
all of you guys now.
is it behind with the car wash?
Yes, it would be like as you pull up and you come up on that corner there.
The first corner.
The first driveway or the second?
Nope.
If you're coming down the hill.
If you're coming up into the car wash and you're
Yep.
gonna come around the corner, it's that corner right there.
Okay. Yeah, right there. Yeah.
Right here?
Well, basically
then-
where you would go
So-
straight towards your dwelling, or you'd make a left towards the car wash.
Right, it's like you come up the driveway and then you're gonna go left, like you're going to the car wash, that corner right there, which is adjacent to the 1.36 acres that are there.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
So let me understand what would be the proposal, just you talked about overflow parking that was previously approved.
Yeah,
I'm not
for
really-
people that are waiting in line for the car wash, or possibly people that would like to come and have a bite to eat, that would park and possibly, want to park there. You know what I mean? Not, permanently, but just for temporary parking. Because it wouldn't be a spot where they would be able to park there. They would have to have a spot there to be able to park, maybe grab a bite to eat, get back in their car and leave.
Okay. This is the same parcel that you had, not you, but someone representing your. the
No, it's my
property.
husband and I. Yup. Same parcel.
They
Yup.
proposed the big RV storage.
Correct. Yup. And that
And
was
that-
just, then that was, you guys didn't want us to do that. And so we went for overflow parking there for customers or whomever in case they were waiting for the car wash, where they could stay until the next person could come up, because we have a small spot there for people to pull around. And we also have the tractor trailers that come in, so, they could stop and wait to be, going for the wash. But the other thing too is that, we wanted to do the portable concession trailer there in the corner, to offer food and stuff and have that other space that we could have parking as far as for people to get a bite to eat or whatever.
Yeah. I mean, do you have any kind of sketch that would show the area to be disturbed and the amount of, where the trailer would be located? Because I know you have a, some.
Yeah, I
residents
did.
like-
I have a sketch there. It's proposed. It's with the other paperwork, and it has a circle around it where the actual trailer would be
Mhm.
in the
Is
corner
do you have,
there.
like, delineate the maximum number of parking spaces, for instance. Things like that there are of interest to, anybody in the neighborhood. If you said, oh, I'm gonna put a trailer there and I have, 100 parking spots, or I'm gonna have 10 parking
Well,
spots.
no,
or-
I don't think
Yeah.
it would be that many. It's just basically for people that are gonna pull up and grab a bite to eat. It's gonna be a small trailer, so it wouldn't be anything where we would have 100 people that we could, park there. You know what I mean? You're talking about a 20-foot by 8-foot trailer that people would come up and
Mhm.
grab a bite to eat, or an egg sandwich, or, even our drivers or people that are coming for the wash, a hot dog or something like that,
Yeah, just, can I pop in here a second? I just.
Sure,
wanna-
and Spiro's right
Hi,
here. I'm
sorry guys, I had to
he's a
step
little
away
late.
here.
That's quite all right. So we have a notice of determination by Dale. Dale, you're still there. You might want to unmute. And that's dated from 12/7/2020 regarding the accessory parking.
Yep, accessory parking, yep.
Right. And
Great.
I'm just having trouble remembering. I don't recall approving the accessory parking in December.
Oh, no,
Okay.
no, it
No.
wasn't. Well, actually, we were proposing for I'm sorry, Dale. We were proposing for RV storage over there, but I had said that we were gonna forego the storage and just go with the accessory parking for the concession trailer
Right.
to get approval for that.
Okay, so Dale, your amended determination shows additional accessory parking and a food trailer. So and I'm just asking because I've never looked this up, but can you have a food trailer anywhere? Or can we have a food trailer here because it's commercial?
You can have it as an accessory structure.
As an accessory use in a commercial zone?
Yes.
Okay, all right. I just wanted to understand where we were at. So that's the only thing we've approved for you guys was the accessory apartment. So there
Oh,
were,
correct. Yep.
yeah, there were questions for the accessory parking last time, like how many spaces, what are you going to do with stormwater, all that stuff. And I'm just,
Yeah, it's not gonna, with the original proposal, I was gonna try to do 3/4 of the acre over there for the RV storage. But as of right now, with the concession trailer, we probably would only be doing parking, 1/4 of that space now.
okay. What the planning board's going to need is like a plan, okay, that shows how much parking and, what it's going to be made of and all that kind of stuff. Is that somewhere in here?
I already submitted information with that from Cobalt Skillstone because they did the proposal over there of doing
Okay,
the work.
all right.
Okay, but it's going to be on a much bigger scale because we were going to do RV storage, and I'm not going to make quite that investment with that since I can't do the RV storage over there. So it's going to be, half that space most likely. But
Okay.
they're the ones that did the proposal, and it's going to be, 8 inches of crush your own stone. So it's going to be stone. There's not going to be no blacktop or anything like that.
All right.
Is there a sketch of your proposal that we have? I haven't really had the opportunity to look into this.
Melissa, do you have that up?
Yeah, we'd like to get an exact sketch of what that is going to be, what the separation distance from the contiguous properties are, the neighboring properties. Because I'm sure, and address things like, will there be like odors or, like cooking coming off the trailer continuously that might impact like the quality of life for your neighbors and things like that. Now, I know you can have a barbecue anytime you want, but from a commercial thing, you do have some very close neighbors there. That,
Listen, it's a movable concession trailer. So, I mean, I can locate it pretty much anywhere, if there were to be, mainly, the accessory parking that I'm putting over there is just for people waiting or, not to hold up my traffic going into the car wash over there. And like I said, I already submitted from the last proposal from Cobalt Skillstone with the work that they were going to do over there. But like I said, it was on a much larger scale, which I'm not going to make that kind of investment for that. So it would be half the space, for accessory parking, and maybe 1/4 of it. Exact sketch, I can figure out. It's as much, it's as many feet as I want to do that I can afford over there right now. So I would say probably 1/4 of that. I could come up with an exact dimension. But I mean,
I think what we would like is for the purpose, since we would issue a special use permit, we want to delineate the activity accurately. So if you just say, well, I'm gonna maybe 1/4 acre, maybe a 1/2 acre, exact.
Okay.
Doesn't have to be a surveyed sketch, but a sketch that would show separation distances to the adjacent properties, access. If there's
all right. So
power
what
requirements.
if I say to you right now, we do a 1/2 acre of the property, since I'm sitting on 1.3 acres, I do a 1/2 acre for accessory parking. Where do we go from there? You just want me to sketch it out like that?
That's down there. Where part of the 1/2 acres? Is it the western part, the northern part, the eastern part?
Okay.
Yeah. But you're going to get some of the concerns from some of the neighbors, because I've already heard from the neighbor on the RV proposal that was withdrawn. But so there's going to be some concerns, and we have to be in a position to accurately define the project.
Sure.
not
I
just.
think it would be helpful too for hours operations. Number of spots, even though you say half acre, but are they all gonna be vehicle, regular car spots? Are you gonna have full trailer spots for, the semis that come in? Is there gonna be lighting? Those sort of things I think would be helpful.
Okay, yep.
Yeah, how much fuel you're gonna store for the trailer, you're gonna be big propane tanks there, people are gonna ask a lot of questions that don't like your project.
Yeah,
Okay,
that's
I'm not
fine.
saying that, somebody's gonna say, wait a second, the guy's storing fuel up there, there could be a fire, so we need to really dot all the.
We're not storing fuel.
Like I said, it would be a portable trailer, so that would, that would all be together on that. I can put something else together, exactly how many feet I'm gonna do the parking over there, and exact, as far as exact placement of the concession trailer, well, it's on wheels. I can place it, anywhere is over there on the property, I guess. But I'd like to try to keep it in one spot, so
Yeah.
like I said, I could have people, park, be able to pick up their food and to leave out of the parking area over there and not tie up the car wash because, it's a little bit hard pulling in and out of there if there's cars, waiting over there.
Spiro, maybe this will help. When the building inspector decides whether or not to issue the permits so that you can bring on the stone in the trailer, what he needs to see is a plan that was approved by the planning board. And then he can say, check, everything's there. So when we get site plans, even for, relatively minimal things like the guy selling the sheds down between 30 and 20, we like to get as much detail as we can about where you're going to put the parking, the distance to the parcel lines.
Okay.
And also you tell us where you want to put it. We don't want to tell you. That way we understand what you want.
Okay.
And we can get the public hearing going,
Okay. Yeah, I thought there would have been enough information when I had submitted Cobalt Skillstone's proposal of doing the work over there. But, I can, obviously it's not going to be on that big of a scale. So I can resubmit something with some more exact dimensions of how much space is going to be.
Right.
Cost wise, I have to figure that out too. How much I want to do over there.
Right. We certainly don't want to tell you what you want. We want you to tell us what you want.
Yep, no problem.
And Dale, can you show him an example of a simple site plan that we've approved in other cases, just to make it easier for him?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, Spiro, I think the best thing is if you can sit down with Dale and kind of walk through and he'll show you how to do the sketch plan.
I got you. I understand. I'll get a little bit more detailed about it.
Yep. And maybe a little narrative that says exactly what you want to do,
Yep.
I mean, and then it helps us in our decision making,
Sounds good.
Because it will go through a public hearing and, the better job you do, the better we're equipped to answer to the public on how our decision was constructed.
Okay.
Okay, sounds
I'll
good.
work with Dale on that and we'll try to get into more specifics with that.
Thanks.
And now what we would need is if you want this to go forward, we need all that information, since 10 days before our next meeting.
Okay.
So that we could look at and then set up a public hearing if we had to. Okay.
I'm gonna go back to Cobalt Skillstone and I'll have them give me a resubmittal of the new draft work that they're gonna do over there.
Okay. All right. So then what we'll do is, hopefully we'll, you get together with Dale and then come back in at your pleasure, really, if you want to come back next month or the month after, and we'll keep you on the agenda. We'll set you on the agenda for next month on your old business.
It'll be ready for the next meeting.
Sounds
We're
good.
ready for the meeting, and then we can review it and perhaps set up a public hearing.
Okay, thank you.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Jeff, you want a motion to table it?
Yeah, it's under old business, and I don't know if we'll table this application for a special use permit until our next meeting on, as Mike reminded me, what is it, February
17th,
something?
18th.
Yeah,
18th?
18, 1 week.
Okay, so we'll make a motion to table this until February 18th, when we'll re-entertain any new information. Okay?
Sounds good.
Thank you.
I'll second
Thank
that.
you.
Thanks.
Okay, great. Good luck.
Thank you.
Jeff,
Okay. Yes.
Mike,
Yes.
Yeah.
Tom,
Yes.
Josh,
Yes.
Liz, and
Yes.
Mike.
Okay, the last item on tonight's agenda is under the category of new business. We've got an application for a special use permit from the Casella Group LLC. If someone's there to represent the group and give us a little rundown on the proposal.
right.
We'd like to hear.
Me.
Okay,
I
you are
believe-
Daryl.
Yep, I'm Daryl Cassell. So I think I believe I left at the office with Melissa, I believe it is, kind of like a site plan of the property.
Okay.
So this is the address. There we go, 1485 Mariahville Scotch Church Road in Pattersonville. It's been up for sale for a long time. It's owned by New York State Arc, who used the home to house individuals with intellectual and other developmental disabilities. So they've had it up and running for a while. In fact, the layout of the house is all laid out for, you know, it's a 6-bedroom, 2-bath house. And it was used as a nonprofit, so there weren't any taxes or anything paid on that. So what we're proposing, what we're asking the town is if we can use this single-family residence for an adult care facility, an adult home, which I believe is allowed in the residential district R2 for under special use permit. Let's see, actually looking at the property, everything's set up. There's a fire suppression system in there. There's alarm systems, backup generators. All the bathrooms are wheelchair accessible. It's almost like someone made this house for adult care. There's been many people have come to try to buy the property, but they would have had to remodel everything to make it into a home for themselves. So it seems like everything was built for this.
Okay, Daryl, let me ask, do you own property currently, or are you?
I'm sorry?
Have you purchased, are you the owner of the property?
No, it's in contract and it's pending approvals with the town. So if the town says yes, we can go through with the purchase. And also if the Department of Health gives us their blessing, we can go through with the purchase as well.
Okay, the purchase is contingent upon approval to use it for that purpose then?
Correct.
In other words, if you don't get the special use permit, you're not interested?
Yes.
Okay, because that,
correct.
Yeah, okay. And what has the health department said about this so far? Anything, or?
Oh, we're
'Cause
still.
They have jurisdiction over those special care facilities, right?
Yeah, they actually say yes or no, whether they want it or not. We're in the process of applying to them. It's a process. So we're going through the paperwork and the paperwork and the paperwork. We're assuming that, we're assuming that the answer is yes because of what it's previously used for with the New York State Arc. So we're assuming that everything should go through, but that's, we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, we would do a coordinated review with all interested parties on this, as we wouldn't issue a permit unless, DOH was going to approve it, for the same purpose. So, yeah.
Which facility is it on the map here?
that
That one?
kind of.
Yep, there it is.
What are your neighbors?
Who are they, you mean?
Are they houses or businesses or what's?
No, everything's houses.
Okay.
In fact, the house that is on the property, it looks like just a regular, large, single-family house. It doesn't look like a facility or anything. And that's kind of like the look that we want for these houses is, when these older ones need care, they're coming home. So it has to look like a home and feel like a home. So it has to blend in with all the other properties around it.
Do you expect to have to increase parking areas? Do you have enough parking there?
There's enough parking there. Nothing has to be changed. Most of the seniors aren't even going to drive.
Okay.
It's just the staff. We're assuming we're going to have someone to manage and maybe 2 or 3 caregivers. So there's going to be between 3 to 4 and not all there at the same time. So there's
Will there
really
be any live-in staff?
no live-in staff
Okay.
on the property.
And I think on the street view, Mike, if you look at it, the street view actually has some of the, group style vans parked in the driveway from when it was the ARC. If you look
Oh,
at
yeah.
it.
Yep, I'm looking at it now. Thanks, Josh.
Yeah.
How long ago was this property discontinued from use by ARC? It's been abandoned for a while, or is it?
I believe it's been about a year.
About a year, okay.
Yeah.
So it was actively used as an ARC building back 2 years ago, say, if I went there.
Yes.
Patients.
It was built specifically for them back in 1985. So everything met all the codes for New York State to put that type of facility in.
So they had 6 bedroom, they had 6 residents, or was it more than that? Because I think in your proposal is 10. Is that going to be, is that with sharing rooms or building more rooms, or how does that go?
They have a lot of office space there. So we submitted to the state, the Department of Health, the 10 resident number. Some of the rooms are large too, which we can have 2 in a bedroom and still meet the requirements of the state.
Have they weighed in at all, or Dale, have you looked at what the septic system capacity would be by adding those rooms, or?
I've been there before to inspect when it was the ARC, and they had about, I would say 10 residents plus staff there.
Okay.
8 to 10 residents plus the staff.
Okay. I just didn't know if you're converting office space into new rooms, if they had individual bathrooms, if that would change the septic system requirements or not.
Interesting. All right, so can I ask who at the Department of Health are you dealing with on this? Can you kind of give us some of your contact there?
Everything's online with the Department of Health. So they have you go through a lengthy process and then you submit it.
Okay.
And believe it or not, it's page after page after page. It's pretty long. So I think about 3/4 of the way through the application process, and then I could submit it. So I'm hoping within a week or so I should have it complete, and then I actually don't even know the time frame with that.
Yeah, with the way things are now, it could be a long time. But I guess I would ask it when you submit that, if you could, copy the town on that, or copy, so that we know we're in the loop, because it'll have to be a coordinated review with other interested parties. And since it was an existing building, seems like it might be, a viable project for you. Is there like a commercial kitchen and stuff in that place? And how do they do the food service?
It looks like you're walking into a large house. So you walk into an area and there's a large kitchen there with a large dining room and a large eating area.
Yeah.
So it's a residential, it's really residential. The only thing that looks a little sterile to me, a little facility look, you know, a little bit like a facility, is the doors going into the bedroom. They have the solid hardwood doors.
Okay. Do you know when was the ARC actually contract to build this to their specifications, or did they buy it and retrofit it? Do you have any idea on the history of it?
They bought this and had it built specifically for them per New York State specs.
Yeah, okay, that's interesting. Huh. All right. Okay, well, it's, you know, I'd say this is under the category of new business, so, you know, we'll wait to get the additional information. You know, I don't think we're in a position to set up a public hearing yet. Teresa, do you have any comments on the process wise on this?
Yeah, I mean, Dale has given us a determination that it's allowed with a special use permit. They've given us a very thorough narrative and business plan here, sort of a thing. Just to make sure everybody saw that, as well as a copy of the contract to purchase. So I was looking at it from a seeker perspective, and since they're not proposing any physical changes to the building, it may very well be a seeker type 2 action. But Elizabeth and I will take a look at that. If you look at the provisions here, let's see. It says the following actions are not subject to review under this part: maintenance or repair involving no substantial changes in an existing structure or facility. And it also says replacement, rehabilitation, or reconstruction of a structure or facility in kind on the same site, including upgrading buildings to meet building, energy, or fire codes, unless such action meets or exceeds any of the thresholds, which this would not. So it may, because it was previously used for this purpose, and because they're not physically proposing any changes, be a relatively simple thing to do. But, you know, you guys could declare yourselves lead agency just in case tonight. But I think, you know, I think it's likely that you don't need to do any seeker for this. And as far as the Department of Health approval, I believe the way it works, and this is something we would have to verify with DOH, I believe they need local approvals or a local indication that the facility is acceptable under the zoning before they'll process the application to completion. They kind of want everybody else to go first. I don't know why they do that, but it's just ways to streamline their process, but complicate ours. So if you like, I can try to reach somebody over there and find out if that's the case. And Daryl, it'd be really helpful if you give us all the information you give them. And if there's any, you know, certainly anything that's covered by privacy, you know, redact that from the application, because everything we get is public. Okay.
Some of it's, most of it's about. I'm sorry.
Oh, I just want to know about the ownership of the property. Does that complicate things, since the Casella Group does not own the property. I guess it's still owned by ARC, or I don't know who owns it.
Well,
this point.
ARC still owns it based on the agreement. And what we usually ask for, Daryl, when you submit the application, is just that you have the property owner sign it as well. Hang on a second, I just
I believe
covered it up.
I believe I had that.
Okay.
It should be in that purchase and sale agreement.
Okay. And that's good. It's just that sometimes you need to have the current property owners sign the application too. We've had difficulties with that in the past when they didn't. And
Excuse me, Teresa, they did sign it on the application,
okay.
signature of owners.
Yeah, and is that Daryl or is that the ARC people who signed it?
Which form was that again? Was that on the purchase and sale?
No, it's the application for the town.
Then that would probably just be my signature, I believe.
Yeah, it looks like your signature, Daryl. So if you look at the application form, and I know you don't have it necessarily in front of you, we asked for the signature of the owner if different from applicant. So if you could just, before the next meeting, have them sign it, that would be great.
Okay. All right. I think you have the only copy there, don't you? For that application? Maybe I'll swing by the town office and see if grab a copy.
You didn't take a copy with you?
I don't have it, for some reason, I don't have a record of that application.
Well, you filed it on December 10th, 2020. That was the date you signed it.
I'll get a hold of it some way or another.
Okay, Melissa, maybe can you scan it to him? Do you have an email, Daryl?
Yes. It should, actually, the email should be on the application, I believe.
We've got a phone number. I don't see an email.
Does anyone have a pen? C as in cat, P as in Paul.
I have one. I have your email.
Oh, you have it? Okay. Okay. So I'll get that. I'll make sure I get that signed from ARC, if that's what we need. That's not a problem. And then I'll keep you guys in the loop with regard to the application process with the Department of Health.
And Dale, will you figure out if Schenectady County Department of Health will have to inspect the septic system since it was built in the 80s?
Yes.
Okay. Since it's now 2021, that's 40 years. Hard to believe.
Yeah, that's true.
And does it have a well?
It has a well, yes.
Okay. So I'm sure both we and the Department of Health will need to see a well test, quantity and quality.
Okay.
Anything else, Jeff?
Just as far as coordinating this review, will we send notices out to the health departments and the, ARC and all those other people that may be interested parties in this transaction? Or?
Well, we may not do it under seeker, but we certainly need to communicate with the Department of Health on just the review of the special use permit.
Yeah, I don't want to have this thing fragmented. Like, we do one thing and suddenly there's some party that wasn't on board with the whole
Right.
thing. So
Right.
there shouldn't be too many it's just the health department. Just, you know.
I think it's, yeah, I think it's just the New York State Department of Health. And you guys, you know, you have to be satisfied that septic well's good and that, you know, the access to the road, I don't know, it's already got access, so it's not like you're gonna need to get a break-in access permit from anyone. I don't know if you can hear me, if you're getting static or not. Oh, you're muted, Jeff.
Yeah, the static went away, so somebody unmuted. Okay, so I guess next steps would be, I don't know if we're not really in a position to schedule a public hearing yet, are we? I don't think we have all the information that we need.
Yeah, I agree, Jeff. It would be premature to schedule the public hearing.
Yeah,
And-
and we don't need we don't need a lead agency to turn, the town to take lead agency because the secret implications are not there. So
Yeah.
what we get is,
I think it's a seeker type too. I agree with Teresa. I looked at it earlier. But Teresa, to your point, if we want to declare ourselves as lead agency in case anything comes up as part of the DOH coordination.
Yeah, I was trying to think about that. I mean, it's almost like DOH will have to do the neg deck if we don't. But so why don't we wait till the next meeting and we can maybe have a conversation with them about that?
Okay.
Okay.
you know, one of the things that comes up with these resident homes is because, you know, unfortunately my mother was in a very similar situation. Is, you know, each resident would have, you know, a list of medications and pharmaceuticals, and sometimes they get flushed down the toilet. I think that's the standard of practice now, which is unfortunate because we tried to prevent that. But so DOH, I guess, would have something to say about that. But, you know, if all these you got 10 residences and they all have, you know, when you're that old, you got so many pills, you got as many pills as you do years on the earth, I think. And a lot of that stuff does get flushed down into the septic. And so those are some of the concerns, but DOH should be able to address that for us.
Yes.
I don't know if there's
Yeah.
a dispensary associated with these things and how the medications are, you know, there are, you know, in the possession of the patient, but, you know, sometimes when they become discarded, it's an issue.
Well, this is when I say, Jeff, this is beyond your jurisdiction.
Yeah, exactly.
We have to keep track of that. We're responsible to keep track of that.
Yeah.
And the ratio, if you go into it's big now with the independent living and the assisted living and the nursing home in one stay in place, it's really big. The ratio of caregivers to the residents is around 1 to 15 residents. Whereas in a home setting, we have a lot more control. It's pretty much 1 out of 5 residents. So we can keep an eye on and keep track of their medication a lot better.
Yeah, because DOH is going to require, you know, a lot of stuff on that, especially the narcotic types things. You know?
Oh yeah, it's big.
Yeah. What would actually be, I mean, as far as managing the places, you would be the cell group would have a manager there all the time. I mean, it wouldn't just be 10 people living there. You're going to have an administrative staff there. Then is that the way it operates?
Yeah, it has one manager who manages the caregivers, and the caregivers are on 12-hour shifts. So they're responsible for making sure someone is there. During the night, you probably need 1 to manage. But during the day, you need at least 2 to 3 people in the house.
Yeah. Okay, all right. I mean, it's, you know, it's something that's probably a needed type of, you know, facility in these areas because there's few and far between.
There's a big demand, big demand for it.
Yeah. Okay, well, I think what we could do is put you on the agenda for next month. Hopefully we'll have some more information on your transaction and the DOH approvals or pending approvals, and then we could schedule a public hearing next month. So I guess, Teresa, would we have to make a motion to put that on there, or can?
Yeah, you should just do a motion to table to the next meeting. And Mr.
Okay.
Casal, it might be great too if you could, I might have missed it in the business plan. Do you guys run many other facilities of this type?
No, we actually don't. A lot of our friends are in the business. So it's really hard for us to use something that we've done as a referral, to be honest with you. But it's when you look at it from independent living and adult home and all that, there's different stages to this. And we're kind of at the bottom stage where you don't need nursing staff. You don't need any of that. It's just a home where we help with medication, food, activities of daily living. So there's not really a lot of nursing staff that needs to be there. So I'm hoping that we could start basically at the bottom and then work as time goes on into memory care, maybe a memory care home and all that. Maybe on the property. We'll see what the town thinks about that, because we have 27 acres there.
Yeah, it's good to start slowly on this because this is a very complicated issue, and I just know from experience. I've been through this for like 5 years with my mom, and it's a extremely
it's stressful
process. Yeah.
And
okay,
expensive.
so I'll make a motion to table any activity on this project and review the special use permit until our next meeting, when you'll be put on the agenda as I guess we would call it old business at that point, because you've been here once. So any information you can get to Melissa or Dale by 10 days before the next meeting would be great, because then it can be utilized at the next meeting. If we have, assuming things can progress, I don't know how to get through DOH quickly, but the more you can get from them would be better. And then hopefully we can schedule a public hearing for perhaps March. And good luck with your proposal. So I'll make that motion to table it, and I guess till the next meeting.
Yeah, I'll second that motion to table it to the next meeting.
Okay.
Thank you.
Jeff,
Yes.
Yes.
Michael,
Yes.
Yes.
Josh,
Yes.
Liz. and
Yes.
Mike.
Great. Well, we'll wait to hear from you, Mr. Cassell, and hopefully things will go well for you.
Thank you very much.
Okay, great. Good luck. Okay. Next item is sketch plan review, which we have none. Minutes approval from the December 17th planning board. Does anybody have any comments on the minutes? Any errors, omissions, corrections? And certainly there's no typos because Melissa did it. So, anybody have any questions on that? Comments? Can everybody hear me?
Can't hear you.
Yeah, Jeff, I hear you. I don't have any comments.
Silence is test of approval, I think. But so hearing nothing to the contrary, Mike's usually the one that got the scrutinous eye on these.
Yeah, I didn't have anything this time. Anybody else have anything?
No.
Nope.
Okay, I'll make a motion to approve the draft minutes from the December 17th meeting.
Second that.
Melissa still there?
Is there a second? I didn't hear a second.
Yes, Tom.
Tom said.
Tom had a second.
Oh, okay, thanks, Tom. Mike,
Yes.
Tom,
Yes.
Jeff,
Yes.
Josh,
Yes.
Liz,
Yes.
Mike.
Yes.
Great. Okay, on, just miscellaneous, anybody heard from Marty? Marty Williams, anybody hear from him or doing well?
Not a thing.
No, okay, geez. Okay. All right, so I
He
guess. that
misses
concludes-
being with the planning board and he wants to come back, Jeff.
Yeah, you doubt that.
My phone was ringing off the hook all day and I saw his thing is not letting you back. You quit once, the hell you. But we're hoping that we can keep Tom reeled in here. I hear rumors of him wanting to exit, but he's not busy enough lately. But, you still there, Tom?
Yeah.
Stay with us, buddy. Come on. At least one more month or 2 more months. But okay, I guess we can adjourn. If everybody's happy, we'll see you on February 18th. And hopefully this COVID thing will come down. I'm hopeful. I think I tried to get a vaccine and they told me to go to Utica, and then they called me up and said, forget about it, you know? And I know Gary Dwyer he's going to Plattsburgh or Potsdam to get it. So I think it's gonna be hunkered down till probably till June at least, you know? So, but everybody stay healthy and you know, I wish you all good health and we'll see you.
Thanks, Jeff.
I need a second. I need a second.
Becky,
Jeff,
yes.
Liz,
Yes.
Tom,
Yes.
Josh,
Yes.
Michael,
Yes.
Mike.
Yes.
All right.
All right. Good night, everybody.
All right.
Good
Good night.
Thanks all. Take care.
Yep, bye.